It was supposed to be the happiest day of the year for little Emma, but instead of birthday candles and smiles, she stood frozen in the doorway of a luxury jewelry store. Gripping her father's hand so tightly, her knuckles turned white. People weren't just staring. They were laughing at her dad, at his torn jacket, at the holes in her shoes, at the idea that they, two people who barely afforded groceries, dared walk into a place coated in gold. But none of them knew the truth. They didn't know the secret her father carried. They didn't know the connection he had to the most powerful man in that building. And they certainly didn't know that within the next 10 minutes, every single person in that store would wish they had kept their mouths shut. Before we begin, take a second to hit that subscribe button, Ray, because the story you're about to hear might change the way you look at people forever. Now, let's start. Ethan Ward was a single father doing everything he could just to stay afloat. He worked 2 jobs, slept 4 hours a night, and still somehow managed to braid Emma's hair in the morning and warm her hands inside his coat on cold days. Money was always tight, but today was not about bills. It was Emma's 7th birthday. She didn't want a big party. She didn't want toys or clothes. She wanted a locket, something to keep a picture of her mom, who passed away when she was a baby. So Ethan saved every spare dollar for 2 months. He found the cheapest locket online, but the shipment was delayed. So after work, exhausted and embarrassed, he whispered, "Sweetheart, let's go look for something small in the city, just to make your birthday special." He never imagined that something small would lead them through the glass doors of the wealthiest jewelry store in town. The moment they stepped in, the temperature changed. Not literally, but the stairs were cold enough to make the chandeliers feel pointless. 2 employees whispered loudly enough for anyone within 10 feet to hear. "Oh God, what is that doing here?" "Probably here to warm up, not to buy anything." Ethan kept his chin up. He'd had worse days. But Emma tugged his sleeve. "Daddy, are we not supposed to be here?" His heart squeezed. "Of course we are, baby. We're customers too." But the store didn't think so. A tall saleswoman stepped in front of them like a bouncer. "Sir, we have nothing in your price range. Please don't linger." Her tone stung more than the words. Customers snickered. One even pulled his daughter closer as if poverty was contagious. Emma's eyes filled with tears, and Ethan felt something inside him quietly crack. Before he could respond, things got worse. A security guard approached. Big, intimidating, hand resting on his belt. "Sir, do you need assistance? We've had incidents." They thought he was a thief. Ethan's face burned. "No, I just want to buy." "Buy?" The guard smirked. "Right." Emma pressed herself against her father. She was trembling, and then came the comment that shattered whatever dignity Ethan still held. "Should we escort them out before the owner arrives? He doesn't like this sort of disruption." This sort of disruption. People like them. Someone laughed behind a display case. Emma's lip quivered. "Daddy, let's go. I don't want them to be mean anymore." Ethan swallowed hard. He wanted to run, to protect her, to hide from the humiliation. But he stayed, because today was her birthday, and she deserved at least one moment that felt magical. He knelt, brushing away her tears with his thumb. "Hey, look at me. We belong anywhere we choose to be, okay?" But he didn't believe his own words. He stood up to leave, and that's when the doors swung open. A tall man entered, sharp suit, silver cufflinks, expression carved from stone. An energy followed him, the kind that made everyone stand straighter. The owner, Marcus Hale. The staff scrambled. "Sir, we were just about to remove them." Marcus didn't answer. He looked at Ethan, and something flickered across his face. Confusion, disbelief, emotional recognition. The room fell into a hush. Marcus walked closer, one step, then another. He studied Ethan like a man seeing a ghost. Finally, he whispered, "Ethan, Ward." The employees froze. Ethan blinked. "I'm sorry. Do I know you?" Marcus laughed, and a broken, disbelieving laugh. "You don't remember me, do you?" He removed his cufflinks, hands trembling slightly. "You're the reason this place exists." The room gasped. Even Ethan looked confused. Marcus continued, 15 years ago, I was homeless, addicted, alone. Everyone crossed the street when they saw me." His voice cracked slightly. "Everyone except you." The luxury store went silent. Marcus stepped closer, emotion rising in his chest. It was raining, freezing. I hadn't eaten in 2 days. You sat beside me on that sidewalk. Ethan's breath caught. A blurry memory returned. A young man shivering under a bus stop roof. Marcus nodded. "You gave me food, then your jacket, then you said something I never forgot." His eyes glistened. "It's okay to start over. You still matter." Every employee in that store went pale. Marcus lifted his chin. "That sentence saved my life." He turned to his staff, and his voice suddenly thundered. "And you dared to treat this man like trash?" No one breathed. Marcus knelt in front of Emma. The same staff who mocked her moments ago stared in shame. "Sweetheart, today is your birthday." She nodded shyly. "And your dad? Your dad is one of the best human beings I've ever met." He stood, turning to the staff. "Let her choose anything she wants. I don't care about the price." The employees looked stunned. One whispered, "Anything." Marcus didn't blink. Everything in this store exists because of her father's kindness. Emma looked around. She didn't run to diamonds or gold. She walked to a small display of simple lockets, the cheapest items in the store, and picked a silver one with tiny stars carved into the surface. She held it to her chest. "This one reminds me of Mommy." Ethan's knees nearly buckled. Marcus swallowed hard, voice warm. "Then this one is yours, forever." Ethan's eyes filled with tears. "Marcus, I didn't do anything special." Marcus placed a hand on his shoulder. "Kindness is always special. You saved me when no one else cared. Let me return a small piece of what I owe you." The customers who had mocked them looked away, cheeks burning with guilt. Ethan lifted Emma into his arms. For the first time in years, he didn't feel invisible. He felt seen, respected, valued. As he walked out, Emma whispered, "Daddy, you're my hero." And he believed her. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to think about it. Have you ever judged someone too quickly, or been surprised by kindness when you least expected it? Share your story in the comments. And if you believe the world needs more compassion, more hope, and more second chances, hit subscribe so we can keep telling stories that remind us we're all human. Because sometimes kindness is the day everything changes.